All right, let us see how to create a responsive navbar in CSS. So the first thing we're going to do is create some HTML. So let's say we're going to basically go ahead and insert some doc type and HTML, some head and body. So starting with that, now in here we're going to basically insert a top nav with an ID of, let's say, my top nav. And then what we're going to do is inside this top nav, we're going to create some hrefs. So what we're going to do is in here, we're going to create a href. Let's say that the first href is going to be home. And this guy is going to have a class of active. Right, so active. And then it will basically say home in it. Then we'll add another link. This one will be, let's say, news. And this one is not active. Let's not put any class on here right now. Let's just call it news. Right? And then what we will do is add another anchor tag with an href source of contact. Say contact. Another one can be about. Let's just say, so we have another anchor tag, href equals hash about. Okay, and we'll call this one about. And we will add one last one. This one is a kind of different one with a href of JavaScript, which we will run, which will basically say void 0. And we will give this guy a class of icon. So this will be our icon for our mobile CSS case where we will expand. And another property we will give this guy here will be on click. On click, we will say call my function. Okay. And in here, what we're going to say is we're going to give it this icon. So this icon is basically ampersand number 9776, which you can find in some HTML, symbols lookup. And that will be it for our HTML. So let's expand all that. So here we go. So as you can see now, I have created a nice class, top nav, my top nav, home, news, contact, about, JavaScript void, 0 on click, and when we click it, we'll go to my function for this class. Okay. So if you guys are wondering what I used to create my HTML, it's a tool called Emmet. And Emmet is basically available for many IDEs, and it can help you expand the CSS and write shorter code. All right, so now that I have that, let's go ahead and add some CSS. So we will add some script tag. Okay, so let's add some script here. Okay, so what we'll start with is our top nav. All right, so this top nav class, let's see, what is it complaining about? JS declaration sorry, this is not a script tag, this is a style tag. Okay, right, and it's complaining about it's empty, but we're going to fill it in just a second. All right, so the top nav. So whatever color you like for this top nav, let's just say background color, and let's make our top nav blue, or maybe brown. I don't know, whatever you guys like. Let's say brown. Okay, and any overflow will be hidden. Okay, so that's our top nav. So it doesn't overflow, and the background color is brown. Now let us style the links inside this navigation bar here. So that's basically the links in this top nav. So these links, we will float all the links to the left, right? And we will display them as block, right? And then we will color our links. Let's say we'll color them aqua. All right. And then let's say we will align our link text in the center within each display block, right? And the padding, we will add a little bit of padding. Let's just say that we will add a padding of 15 pixels. Maybe we want more padding on the left and right and less on the vertical sides, but whatever. We'll stick with 15 pixel padding for now. And what we will do is a font size of, let's say, we gave a 15 pixel padding, let's stick to a 15 pixel font size. So it looks, you know, appealing. Usually when you pick similar size, these things will tend to look more gritty and, you know, a little bit more modern sometimes. And then once you see it, and then you can decide if you want to break it up a little bit. All right, so that's our top nav. When we're going to hover over these links, we're going to say hover. So when I'll hover over these links, what I'll do is I'll change the background color of that top nav link. There's all kinds of things you can do when you hover, but I'll keep it simple. I will change it from our brown to maybe a little dark red. Okay. And then what I'll do is the text color, we chose aqua, right? So let's say that when we go to dark red, we'll change the color to white. Light blue, maybe white. Let's try with light blue. Let's see what happens. All right, and then what I'll do is that when we are basically in our normal view, we will hide our top nav icon, right? Because we're stretched out fully. So what we'll do is top nav dot icon will have a display of none. We'll display it when we get to the mobile version. Okay, so this is it. Let's see if we save this here. So we save this and let's see what's going on. Do we see something? Yeah, okay. So here you can see when I hover, it goes from brown to red. And you can see that my color changes a little bit from my aqua to light blue. Right, you can pick whatever colors you like for this bar here. And now what we're going to do is add some media queries so that we can decide what to do as we scale this. So right now when you scale it, it just kind of squeezes down. But yeah, let's add some media queries. So the way we're going to add some media queries is, let's just say that when the at media screen, okay, screen, and what we will do is we'll say max width is, let's say, so the maximum width that we will have for our mobile version, let's say, is 500 pixels. I don't know. Could be something else like 600, whatever. I'm too used to putting some semicolons. Sorry about that. Now, let's say top nav, and then a not the first child. So why are we doing this not the first child? Because we're going to leave the first child as is. We're not going to hide it. The rest of them we will. So all of the other links, all the top nav A's will be display hidden. Okay? When we're on the mobile version. Next thing is we will show our icon. So a.icon, we will float that icon to the right and display block instead of display none. Right? So that will basically help us. And then what we can do is add another media query for, let's say, did we add anything for responsive? Not yet. Okay, let's see how this is going. Not sure why the library loading isn't happening here, but let's squeeze this page a little bit. And you can see this icon showed up when I squeezed it, right? But even though this icon showed up, why are the other guys still showing? So top nav a not colon first child display none. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not display hidden. This is display none. Right. Okay. That should help. So now we're not displaying the rest of them except the first child. Okay. So not, so we're doing a display none on everything except this first child. And we've got that. All right. Now that we've got that, what we're going to do is create another set of media queries to actually display the drop down in here. So what we're going to do is at media screen and max width. We'll take our max width here. And then we will do top nav dot responsive, position is relative, and top nav dot responsive. Okay. A dot icon is position absolute. Okay. And we will use JavaScript to add this responsive class, so don't worry about it just yet. we will add this responsive class when the user is clicking the icon, right? So when the user will click this icon, that's when we will say, okay, on click, give this top nav stuff this responsive class. In fact, so that it's clear, before I fill the rest of this, let me go ahead and add that JavaScript. So let's just say script, okay, function, my function that we defined earlier when you click it. All right, and then var x is document. So I like to use jQuery, but let's just do document element by ID for now with a my top nav. Okay, so we're getting our top nav, and then if the class name of the top nav is top nav, we will change the class name to responsive, and if it's not, we will change it back to top nav. Okay. So you get what we're doing, right? So basically, when you click it, when you on-click this icon, we're going to call this my function. And what we'll do is, if you click it and the class name is top nav, we'll convert it to responsive. You click it again and it's not showing, the menu is not showing, we will click it, turn it back to the top nav class, which is just like as it is right now. Okay, so now that we have that straight, let's continue with our okay, let's just refresh this to see what's going on. So as you can see, when I click it, you know, it messes up all my styling right now, but that's what we're going to fix here. So top nav, when it's responsive, it will basically have a relative position, and the icon position will be absolute to the right and top, and the top nav responsive strange behavior. Okay, so now we have a float none, since we're not going to be floating these tags now to the left like before. They will be displayed in a block. They're not hiding anymore. And the text will be aligned on the left. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, something's not right. Okay, what do you think is not right? So what do I think is not right? When I click it, why my styling all goes away? Should it have both? The class names, yes, it should, right? So it should not lose the top nav class, it should become both classes. So the class name should really become top nav and responsive. And then when we go back to it, it should just become top nav. So let's reload that and see what happens. Aha, see? So now we are responsive. So basically now we are able to show that when I'm on a wide enough screen, then it's just a top nav. there's no icon here. When I'm on a smaller screen, it all goes away. There's a little icon. When I click this little icon, it all responsively shows up, and then I can click these various links to my hrefs, to whatever they might link to, which you can fill in here. Right now, like I clicked hash about, so it's showing up in the URL. All right, so that's it. So that's how you create a responsive menu bar. Of course, you can, style it more nicely, whatever you like. Maybe, I don't want these underlines on these links here. So what I could say is that the text decoration is, there's no text decoration, none. Refresh that. And here you go. So there's no more lines on my links here, because it is a menu and it should be pretty clear that it can be clicked on. And then maybe I want these guys to be a little bit bolder, so I can say font weight is maybe bolder. Okay, save that. And you can see now my links are bold. Maybe it's too bold, it's not readable anymore. So maybe I want it to just be bold, not bolder. Okay, there you go. If you don't like the color, you can change it to whatever you like. And I think, yeah, the white looks better than the aqua for sure. When I hover over it goes light blue, that's fine. So anyway, you guys can play with the styling. Enjoy. That's the menu. All right. So